What is it with these Democrats and their mortgages? So many of them are crooks. You know, they go after Donald Trump, they try and steal all his money, and it turns out Donald Trump dotted every I, crossed every T, paid off his debt earlier than was required. The people who loaned him the money, the creditors, testified that he was a spectacular client and customer, and they go after him. Letitia James, who puts her father down as her husband, I guess, buys property in Virginia and calls it her main residence. Well, that's a fraud. Talks about a multiple dwelling in New York. Says it had 4 apartments when it had 5. Well, that's a fraud. Then, of course, she blames racism. Well, we all know it's racism. Now, think about racism. She's now stereotyping black people as mortgage crooks. No, black people are not mortgage crooks. You are, Letitia. And it turns out so is Adam Schiff. Last time I checked, he's a white guy. In fact, I'd put him in the category of transparent, but not transparent when it comes to his finances. Can you imagine being this thug, concocting a whole Russian collusion thing against the president, spending 2 years trying to take out the president of the United States with absolute lies, how evil this person is, when you knew in your past, the allegation is that you committed mortgage fraud. Says he didn't. I didn't expect him to confess. Let's start with the New York Post. President Trump on Tuesday called for California Democratic Senator Adam Schiff to be brought to justice for alleged mortgage fraud after a federal housing agency sent a criminal referral to the Justice Department regarding Schiff's ownership of a Maryland home. So there's a criminal referral by the federal housing agency, it'd be Fannie Mae's Financial Crimes Division, to the Department of Justice. That would be, to my own knowledge base, the Public Integrity section of the Criminal Division of the Department of Justice. That's serious business. I've always suspected Shifty Adam Schiff was a scam artist, says Trump, and now I learned that Fannie Mae's Financial Crimes Division has concluded that Adam Schiff has engaged in a sustained pattern of possible mortgage fraud, he wrote on Truth Social. Adam Schiff said that his primary residence was in Maryland to get a cheaper mortgage and rip off America, when he must live in California because he was a congressman from California. I always knew Adam Schiff was a crook. Yeah, that's for sure. The fraud began with the refinance of his Maryland property on February 6, 2009, and continued through multiple transactions until the Maryland property was correctly designated as a second home on October 13, 2020. That's 11 years later. Trump added, mortgage fraud is very serious, and crooked Adam Schiff, now a senator, needs to be brought to justice. A senior administration official told the New York Post that the Federal Housing Finance Agency, which oversees Fannie Mae, sent a criminal referral to the Justice Department requesting further investigation. It's extremely serious, and Schiff is not taking it seriously, said that official, who added that the senator could face a criminal count for each time he paid his monthly mortgage bill. Trump told reporters on the White House lawn Tuesday that I would have thought that he covered his bases a little bit better than that. Adam Schiff is a lowlife. He deserves what he gets, and I agree with all that. And that's right. If you're going to be the guy that goes out there to concoct a collusion with the President of the United States and Russia, you would think that you'd be, what did they say? Cleaner than Caesar's wife. Isn't that the line? Something like that. I never understood what the hell it meant anyway. Schiff is a former House Intel Committee chairman whose unproven claims about Trump's ties to Russia enraged Republicans and so forth and so on. And you know the rest of the story. The California Democrat mortgage issue was first publicly reported in 2023 by CNN, the constipated news network, so it must be true.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.